Sacred Journey is a story about love and tragedy. It's a story of my family. A brother of mine, Juan Quintero, who was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease 3 years ago. And you see the trajectory of what the illness does to his body. So it begins with one arm where his body goes atrophy, then his next arm, then it goes onto his legs, and it moves up to his face and muscle and neck muscles. But it's not just about his trajectory, it's also about all the miracles that happen around his story. So there's a lot of miracles that have taken place since his prognosis, and that's basically what we do with the story. We just talk about a lot of the celebration and the tragedy at the same time. So my idea about the last version you saw was probably a 28-minute version that we did at Plaza de la Raza, or a 36 version that we did at the Regal. Those two were for the sole purpose of raising funds for us to finish the feature film. And so I knew I had a bigger story that I wanted to cover, and some of those things you'll see in the story you didn't see back then. Like, I'll give you one spoiler alert here. My mom had to sell her 30-year business to go to nursing school to take care of her son. You know, so there's certain storylines that we follow that you haven't seen, that weren't included in the short version. Okay, I'm gonna tell you straight up what happened, right? So my brother was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, and he was given 3 years to live. And at the time, I was a drug addict. I was hooked on drugs, and I felt hopeless. And so my brother's diagnosis woke me up. It allowed me to ask God for help so I could be there for my brother. And so now he has 14 years with ALS, and I'm 14 years sober. So this is our sacred journey. ALS is an orphan illness, and there's definitely, we need more people to do more research, which basically requires more money. The Ice Bucket Challenge, you know, basically help that process out. But it's my objective with this film is to continue raising awareness, right? So that people can help. Maybe it'll land in the right place, and that right researcher or the right philanthropist will say, we need to find a cure for this. Another one is, there doesn't, an ALS Latino registry doesn't exist, or an MS registry doesn't exist. So I want to use the film to create that registry, right? And the other thing we want to do with the film is celebrate the 68 million caregivers that exist in this nation. Because the truth is that either you're a caregiver or you're going to be taken care of at one point or another, or you're already being taken care of. So there's another approach we have here, and it's to celebrate caregivers like my mom, like my dad, like my siblings that take care of a loved one. And sometimes caregivers don't even know that they're taking care of. They don't even call themselves caregivers. But there's a lot happening around caregiving, and for the most part is, if you ask any given caregiver, like my mom, she'll probably say, no, it's very rewarding, it's my son. But on the other end, what you don't hear about is the guilt, the stress. You know, there's a proven fact that 40% of caregivers die before the person they're taking care of, and that's factual. You know, so I want to bring up a lot of I want to bring up this discussion around caregiving and the value it is for us to celebrate them. So the idea, we're here celebrating our world premiere at the San Diego Latino Film Festival. It's our 26th annual, and we're happy to be here. So what we plan to do is take this to Los Angeles, and we plan to do some private screenings, but also go to La Leaf, right? And we're going to do something a little different. We have a few distribution offers, but we don't want to distribute it to the digital platform yet. We want to build momentum for about a year, and sometime in December of this year, after we do a national tour, and use the film to screen at places like LULAC and AARP conventions and those kind of places, then we'll say everybody that's been following us can now download the film at Amazon or Hulu or iTunes or one of those platforms. So this is a Sacred Journey, our world premiere in San Diego. You could get more information at sacredjourneyfilm.com. You can start there. You'll see our upcoming screenings. You could learn how you could bring this film to your organization, to your city, to your theater, to your community, whatever it is. And that's pretty much it. So this is Ernesto Quintero, director of Sacred Journey. This is a shout out to LatinoScoop.